And the thing that we see at the moment, which I find quite exciting, is around sort of that kind of the question of what's the legacy of your project. And so I'm always very fascinated. And the first time I really encountered this was, there was Crossrail in London, and they talk about the legacy, and there was the Olympics, and they talk about the legacy, but it's (8:30) in the evening here in Oxford at the moment, so it's slowly coming to a close. So yes, no, it's been a very good day. It's the start of the summer over here. It feels like. Yeah.
Well, the start, and it feels like summer is about to end over here. It kind of feels, but when you get the sunshine, you just want to embrace every bit of it. Pretty much the essence of this, it's more about helping project managers become strategic project leaders. And what exactly does that mean? I know that your wealth and depth of experience spans across different mega projects, and you have found that there's so many reasons why projects have actually failed, or also why organizations do not achieve strategic goals and objectives. And all through my career, having worked as a PM, I worked for the Department for Transport in London. I worked briefly in New York Stock Exchange. I moved here. I worked for a lot of oil and gas as well. So like different types of projects, from IT to construction, the pipeline. I have found, I wouldn't say a gap, I would say an opportunity where we can help elevate, I call the project management profession. So beyond just thinking about on time, on budget, and to schedule, we need project professionals who can become more strategic, where they can connect the first piece from strategy design all through to benefit realization, to understand really why are we even doing this in the first place? What exactly are the key drivers for this? That way they are better even informed to make better decisions or recommend better decisions even through the project execution phase.
And the thing that we see at the moment, which I find quite exciting, is around sort of that kind of the question of what's the legacy of your project. And so I'm always very fascinated. And the first time I really encountered this was, there was Crossrail in London, and they talk about the legacy, and there was the Olympics, and they talk about the legacy, but it's just like really marketing fluff. And the first project I really encountered where they mean it is Thames Tideway in London, where they think about as most legacy we want to leave behind as a project. And one of the main things, for instance, for them is to invest into the tunneling college to get graduate engineers to be specialized then into tunneling engineering. And they were contributing a lot of money towards this tunneling college, but the timelines of the project meant that they actually would never ever profit from any of these graduate engineers. So their tunneling program would be finished before the first person actually graduates from the tunneling college. But they did it because they wanted to leave a legacy for other projects that have to do a lot of tunneling in London afterwards, right? So they want to make the profession a better place. And I think that's sort of, when we're talking about, not only like inputs and outputs, blah, 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 and then, but also outcomes and benefits, but actually really thinking about what's the strategic contribution not only to organizations, but also to the project management profession as a whole. That's where I find it's really, really interesting of, what are projects talking about, how are they thinking, and how can we shift their thinking, because it really makes very different decisions. And now you look at Thames Tideway, and every single time they do a project briefing, project update, they lead with their legacy goals. How many apprentices have they gone through? What have they done in terms of health and safety training, cultural awareness of this? They've done some other programs, not only the tunneling college thing, but with some other things around licensing for barge captains on the River Thames to remove spoil from the tunneling things. Sort of they lead on all of those legacy things, and then they have this big strapline about this project is not building a sewerage tunnel, which engineering-wise it is, but connecting the Londoners to their river, right? And then sort of isn't, and then you get into this kind of thing where actually, if I'm an engineer and I'm looking for a job, and there's this gravity-assisted sewerage tunnel which engineering-wise is boring as hell, but it's doing all these things. Right, and that's where it really gets exciting, right? And that's right. I find it really cool, right? And that's where I think this, like, really thinking about not just, the inputs and outputs and some of the benefits, that's fine, right? But actually, what are we leaving behind? What's the legacy we are, right? And there's this whole thing about, here's this project, it's public sector money, we need to do it value for money, we need to do it as cheaply as possible for the output it will create, right? But then there's these other things, so how can we trade those off?
Exactly. Yeah. And those are the things that the profession needs to actually hear, because we have viewers from all over the world, right? So even sharing tips like that, so they can start thinking even differently. Because interesting, I had a leader who came in from Pakistan, and we were talking about sustainability and how they're trying to navigate that in the developing world. It's a totally different ballgame. And then understanding those facets of, even for sustainable projects, like even building a wind farm, if you haven't got sustainable practices like as part of the process, how sustainable are you truly, right? So it's about thinking about the trade-off. So for me,
asking a lot of questions about the economic sustainability. These things overrun their costs, they are always delayed, they have fewer benefits than they should have. What's going on, right? How can we improve that? But I do think these days we now have to consider that sort of more and around, and and where an economist would say is in a thing like recent projects like the Hong Kong Macau Zhuhai Bridge wasn't great because it had a massive cost overrun and delay and all those kind of things, but a lot of the cost overrun was because of saving the dolphins in the Pearl River, and if you're an economist,
that's right,
the bloody dolphins don't drive cars, unfortunately. So there's this cost increase to not kill the dolphins, but that doesn't actually increase the total revenue on the bridge.
Yeah.
Is that
so really what's a trade-off?
Is that really a good view of the world?
That would be interesting to hear your argument to say, what should we do then?
I know, exactly. Is that really something, and you can always be the kind of economist who argues, oh yeah, but they should have thought about beforehand that these dolphins need additional protection, blah, blah, blah. But does that actually mean that this was a bad project because they had a big cost increase because of that to save those dolphins instead of killing them?
I want to say thank you for not just for the work, for the contributions you're making, and helping drive change and creating a legacy. That's what we're talking about, a legacy. That's what it is. A bigger impact, and yes, it's definitely being felt. So thanks for spending your evening with me. Enjoy whatever's left. So I don't know if it's probably already cloudy now. I can't imagine, like dark.
Actually, so it's 9:30 in the evening. So yeah, exactly. So we'll enjoy the last of the Pacific twilight that's out there.
Oh no.
Cool.